All right, hey guys. So this video is about where we're going to get that morality from, and the idea here is his big, one of Durkheim's huge concepts, social facts. The term social facts just doesn't sound that impressive, but this is a huge deal for Durkheim. One of his, I mean, our textbook, or at least the other textbook that Ritzer writes about classical sociological theory, talks about this as one of his two big main contributions. So this is a huge deal, and it's relatively short. It's not going to take me 13 minutes to get through it. Social facts, they are and this is importantly, this is the definition that you need to have for this. So the term social facts is a little bit misleading. It doesn't just mean anything that's a fact that has to do with social things. The way he defined it is as the social structures and cultural norms and values that are external to and coercive of actors. So social structures, cultural norms and values, external and coercive of actors, that are not reducible to individual consciousness. Not reducible. Okay. What does that mean? Basically, it means that there are things that exist out there that are not just social relations. They are things that are structural, like the division of labor, or like a bureaucracy, or like a religion, or cultural beliefs, that not just a belief that I hold, but a belief that we hold. The belief that all people should be treated equally. That is a cultural value or a cultural belief that exists. It's not reducible to my individual consciousness. It's something that we hold, and it coerces me. I act in a particular way that isn't necessarily that doesn't necessarily bring me pleasure. I would prefer to be able to knock kids over and take their candy, but I can't do that because I believe that it's wrong. It would be pleasurable to me to do that, both getting the candy and the power trip of knocking a kid over. But the reality is that I will feel bad about myself. Why? Because I have been coerced by something external that doesn't start inside my head, that pervades us as a group, because you believe the same thing. You want to take the kids' candy too. You're not going to do it. Why? Because we treat people equally. Those things, the fact that we're part of the bureaucracy of this university, that I am a teacher, that you're a student, and that we then have certain behaviors that are expected of us. That's not just in my head, that's in our heads. And those things are external and coercive of us. Those are social facts. Durkheim says, let's compare him to Marx. So Marx talked about meanings and beliefs and reified social relations, right? So he's talking about kind of the same things, but for Marx, those things are secondary to humans, right? Humans are primary. And all of those things, like the meanings, beliefs, the reified social relations, all of those should be in terms of humans. He's saying, set those things up so that they work for people. Durkheim is flipping that. He's saying, yes, those things exist, but those things are primary. Because remember, his view of human nature is different. In some ways, not exactly the opposite, but certainly on the other side compared to Marx. He says those things are primary, and human beings should be in terms of them. I should be in terms of the bureaucracy of the university. I should live my life in terms of the belief in equality. Quite the opposite of Marx, who says structure society according to what makes humans fulfilled. Durkheim says organize human lives so that they will be fulfilled by doing it in terms of these social facts. This is where you'll get the morality that you need to have a fulfilling life. Pretty amazing insight. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. You may be more on the Marxian side, but there's certainly something to be said for the idea that this idea is going to create a degree of order. And I mean, again, Durkheim he's not naively thinking just everything is better if you have authority figures telling people what to do. He says there can be too much regulation, but he says if you can set these things up well, and he's going to give it some thought, we'll get to that later on. If you set these things up well, this needs to be primary. Then human lives will become fulfilling by being filtered through this. It's kind of an amazing insight. And I think I'm done. I've had a couple of long videos when it comes to this. Let me just check my script to make sure. No, I think we're done. All right, in the next video, we're going to talk about the fact that, okay, this is great. Durkheim solved our problems for us. Why are there still problems? And the idea is going to be in that idea of how viciously the 19th century is changing underneath people's feet. So we'll talk to you about that in the next video.